Hey everybody, this is Eric Worre and welcome to NetworkMarketingPro.com. I'm here in the sun with Mr. Randy Gage, and we are in Amsterdam and in the canals, kind of cruising through. We thought we'd show you some of the sights while we talk about some topics today. And Randy usually hides from the sun, but we've convinced him. We're going through some bridges here, so you'll be able to see lots of different things. But Randy, what I wanted to talk to you about is there's a lot of debate and conversation going on about this quote-unquote new school versus old school network marketing. Some of the people who are using online techniques to build their business. I know you have some strong opinions about it. I haven't heard you articulate them all exactly, but I know you believe that there's a right way and a wrong way for people in the network marketing profession to use the internet. But first of all, why don't you explain to everybody and to me what are people doing wrong? How are people screwing it up in the network marketing biz?
Yeah, it's funny. I did an interview with Johnny Fogg the other day for his
mastery session.
Yeah. And he said, "What's the difference? Why'd you write your book again? What's the new 4th edition?" And I talked about some of the things the timeless principles that never change, and then stuff in the marketplace that has changed that I felt needed to be updated. And I mentioned the internet. And
before you get to the internet, I will tell you his new book. He's come out with a new edition of his best-selling around the world. I think it's the #1 best-selling book on our profession. That's available now for sale. Do you have any of the hardcovers still left?
Yeah, they have a few of the hardcover collector's
Because he's selling a collector's edition hardcover. He gave me number 84. 84 out of 300. I can't believe it. I'm still heartbroken. But anyway, if you
it's available on Kindle now.
On Kindle,
if you're into Kindle.
So yeah, you can download his book on Kindle anywhere in the world, and it's available on paperback. And I will link that up so you guys. I would highly recommend it, not only for you but for your teams. But anyway, so you were talking about one of the things, the internet,
social media marketing, and the internet, and how I wrote that stuff in the new book. And he said, "Oh my, I don't know about that. I think the internet could be ruining the business." And I said, it is ruining the business. We have so many multi-level...
Ruining or not, you can't ruin our profession.
Meaning it's really painting a bad paintbrush against what we're doing. We've made so much progress in the last decade or so. The credibility of the profession, such great publicity. Now the internet has exploded and all these social media sites, and you have all of these multi-level morons who are just spamming everybody and think that once they join a group on Facebook or MySpace, they're supposed to send out a spam to everybody there. They're on Twitter and they put out the same pitch every 3 hours, and that's the horrible part.
So is it in general basically the people who are just out there telling the internet universe about their opportunity at every moment?
Yeah,
is that the biggest problem?
They're the internet.
And you're going to have to probably talk directly to that because it's a little bit loud out here. I just want to make sure everybody can hear you, so a lot of noise. But go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, it's the internet equivalent of the people who you'd meet at a party. Hi, my name is Jim, and I help people change their future. And they're so obnoxious, and they're so pandering, and it's all about them pitching you. And you see the same thing online now. People are doing that, whether on the social sites or any of those type of venues, and that's not the highest good of the internet. The internet can be wonderful for our profession, as it can be wonderful for so many things.
But don't you think that a lot of people are doing it just because they're excited, right? They're excited, they're ambitious, they figure like if they could go tell the world, that'll make a difference. But what you're saying is, with your enthusiasm, there's a better use for your enthusiasm.
There's certainly a better use for your enthusiasm, and it's just, don't be obnoxious. Just because somebody follows you or friends you on one of these sites doesn't mean they want to get a pitch from you every 3 hours. Where the internet could be beautiful is it's a way to expand our market. You can build the business online the same way you do offline. Like, fascinatingly enough, the last 2 people that I've sponsored into the business have been people that I've met on Twitter. But you never see me do a pitch on Twitter. I never do an ad or anything. I'm there developing relationships, meeting people, finding people who have common areas of interest. I do. So I connect with Marlins fans. I connect with softball players. I connect with comic book people, fashion people, so the areas of interest I have. And so I develop
connect with
relationships.
comic book people?
Absolutely.
So what's your favorite comic book hero?
Conan, the Savage Sword of Conan.
Conan, the Barbarian?
Yes, the Savage Sword series, which is where Frank Frazetta did all of the early artwork. It's amazing. I have from number one. Yeah, I have a collection of those.
I thought you would be a Green Lantern guy for sure.
I like Green Lantern. I did as a kid. I don't really collect that comic book though.
So anyway, okay. Well, so sorry that you when you told me you mix and mingle with the comic book crowd, it struck me as unique. But anyway. So you're meeting people, you're talking to people.
Developing relationships, and then sometimes the conversation comes up. They're looking for something to help their financial freedom or their financial situation. And so it's a natural extension. That's where it's great. The internet's also great for communication. I mean, it's wonderful as a way to communicate with your group. As you know, we do a lot of trainings online. We've done webcasts, we've done streaming video. So there's a lot of things the internet can do to really turbocharge the way we do the business. But there's a lot of people scamming it up, spamming it up, which is making it miserable for the rest of us.
Well, what do you say to the people who say, the warm market concept is dead? You can't talk to your friends and family anymore because the internet has changed everything, and now you can just go create a website and do pay-per-click ads and drive traffic to your site, and all of this old school relationship stuff is dead. What do you say to that to that claim?
Get out of the business. You're in the wrong business. Go sell pornography or something. But you shouldn't be in network marketing.
There's a difference between internet marketing and network marketing. Is the difference?
Big difference. And if you're in network marketing and you wouldn't tell your mother about your business, you wouldn't tell your brother, if you wouldn't tell the people you work with, your best friends, you're in the wrong business. Get out of the business. Anyone who tells you, I would never talk to my friends or family, get out of the business. You got no business being in this business.
Okay. So, all right. Now, some people I think say that, Randy says don't use online to build your network marketing business, and yet he's one of the online experts. He's got tons of websites, and he's got, markets these different materials and does all these different things. How do you kind of answer that perceived contradiction?
Yeah, okay, because I actually do make a lot of money online. I have for 10 years now with other business ventures. But I don't use the internet to grow my network. I don't use the internet to prospect. I don't use it to grow my network marketing organization. I have internet-based businesses, and I'm very good at it, and I've made a lot of money with it. So it's not that I know there's some people who watch this and say, he doesn't understand it, or he doesn't know how to do pay-per-click, or he doesn't know how to do search engine optimization. And if he knew that stuff, then he'd realize how duplicable it would be. But of course, I do know all that stuff, and I also know it doesn't duplicate. It doesn't follow our formula of having a large group of people doing simple actions over a consistent, time period.
Yeah, some of the most successful people that I've talked to that actually do teach prospecting online, they'll even freely admit it doesn't duplicate. It's designed to give a person a particular skill as far as how they attract some people, but it's like a job. It's very difficult to duplicate.
Pay-per-click is very much a job. If I look at, and I know a lot of people who are very big in that, if you took a Tom Annion and people like that who do that a lot, they're doing that 5 hours a day. They're hunched over their computer and they wake up every morning and they got 65 keywords which they need to check, and they check the bid on each of those, and this one is coming in number 4 on the page, so they need to raise the bid, and this one is number 1, and there's a 6-cent gap below, so they can lower the bid. That's a full-time job. That's not something that somebody who's going to join our profession and started out working 10 to 15 hours a week from home, that they're going to be able to do. Let's be real. That's not. The people who sell that stuff are mining the miners, and they're making a lot of money selling that to people in our profession, but nobody's really doing that and duplicating. Let's be real.
And what do you say about some of those people who are selling different programs online? They have these sensationalistic kind of taglines, right?
Well, you know, Mike Dillard, who you had on last week or the week before, I don't know if it's him or a bunch of his affiliates. Yeah. Just today, I mean, I'm on Twitter.
Hold on. I know it's really loud. We're going through a tunnel. I want everybody to hear this. But anyway, go ahead. Today?
Yeah, so I'm on Twitter this morning. I use TweetDeck. I have a column that does a search, so if my name comes up, I see what people are saying about me. So it says, Randy Gage's dirty little secret, and then a link. So of course I click the link, and it's Mike or one of his disciples.
I looked at it. It was one of his disciples.
Saying, oh, here's Randy Gage's dirty little secret. He uses attraction marketing and this and that, and then of course they've got a link to the album.
Right.
Now, I don't know what the album is. I've never listened to it. It might be great. It might be garbage. But the fact is, I've never bought it. I don't use it. So for that person to be using my name and inferring like I'm using that to build my business, that's really a lack of integrity. So I don't think that's very good for our profession. If you look at this, Sieg lady who does all those crazy, nasty ads about virtually every company, she's doing a lot of pay-per-click. Horrendous for our profession. Really disservice to what we do. Sets us back.
Just because she's. Do you think some of the taglines are misleading?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay. It's like your upline's lying to you, your company's lying to you, that type of stuff.
She does a lot of that stuff, and it's a shame. That's not how we need to promote our business. And of course, her, like I say, she's mining the miners too, so I get it. But it's just unfortunate for our business.
Now, let's get back. We're in an ancient tunnel right now.
Ancient.
It's where they hung the prisoners at some point. Hold on one second. So let's get back to what works. I've heard the analogy from several different people. Perry Belcher is one guy. I've heard it from you. That basically social media is like a party. And you don't want to be that boorish person at a party that and puts their business card in your hand and tries to pitch you on a business at a party. You make friends, you mix, you mingle, you be interesting, you act interested.
Right.
And then from the party, if you make a connection with somebody, you can invite them to your home.
Right.
And at your home, that might be your blog or whatever, and that's where they find out about you and your thoughts and your kids and your family. And then they may ask you what you do, and then that could be kind of your opportunity. It's almost like a third step. So you meet people and you have an interest. I want to see if that process is similar to you. You have an interest, and then maybe they see if you have some value in your blog or whatever, and then they find out about your network marketing business. Is that kind of the flow, or how does it work for you?
No, because I actually don't use my blog for network marketing either. That's really
what I'm saying.
To
that's like
support
your home thing.
That's really to support my publisher, who does all of my books and audio albums and things like that. That other business I have. Where I meet people is MySpace. Actually, not so much MySpace. That's kind of died. But Facebook and Twitter. Maybe Plaxo or link to connecting with people you might have fallen out of touch with. They're good for that way. I got contacted a couple of weeks ago from a guy I went to 6th grade with in Madison, Wisconsin. Looked me up, found me on Facebook, sent me a message. Another guy, a kid who worked for me back in my restaurant 15 years ago, and
it's happening
used
everywhere,
to date my sister and was crazy for her. Looked me up about a month ago. So you get some reconnections there. I think Perry's analogy of a party, I don't need to send him to a blog or back to a homepage or anything. I just having that conversation in the social media sites.
But don't you kind of invite them to your blog and your website, your prosperity stuff and the different things? Don't you kind of invite them there so they can kind of find out what you're made of?
Not for people I'm prospecting. No, that's really again to support my publisher. Like every day when I do a blog post, I always post it on Facebook and Twitter with a headline about what it's about, and then there's a link, and that's really, and that supports the publisher who does all my stuff. But again, I'm not doing that for my network marketing business.
Okay, so how does it end up transitioning? You said the last two people you met on Twitter, the last two people you sponsored. Follow the process for me. How you met, how it happened, how it ended up being a recruit.
Yeah, one was a natural raw food diet person, and we were actually having some conversation about that, because that's something that I usually do once a year as kind of a cleansing thing. And the other one, I don't even remember what the first thing was. Probably a lot of times people just retweet something I send out, or I retweet something they send out, and they send, hey, thanks, loved your thing on that, or thanks, I agree with you on this topic, and it starts the conversation.
Yeah.
And then you're online again, you kind of notice them, and you notice a post, so you say something about their post, or they notice something about your post, and that relationship kind of develops. And it really does take the same pattern as it does offline. If you met someone at a party and then you bumped into them at the movies, or you bumped into them at the supermarket, and you kind of...
And here's the thing, so in real life, you're kind of talking about taking a cold market person and inviting them into your warm market world. Somebody that you didn't know and you come to know.
Yeah.
Like, you meet somebody at the store, or you meet somebody at a party, whatever.
And for me, it's a lot easier for me to do that online than offline. Because I don't do that offline. I'm not good at...
He's a pathologically shy person, just so you know. If you meet him in an elevator, you'll think that he's mad at you, because he's just, seriously, because he just goes... but, so I want to try and make the transition between warm market and people that they meet in social media online, because sometimes when people start their business, they go approach people and they say, look, I've got something, it might be for you, it might not, but I want you to take a look at it and let me know what you think. And then, they have them take a look at it. And then, but you didn't do that with the people that you met. So that's a kind of a launch your business type of a tactic. And then you have an online tactic, which is much softer, is what you're telling me.
Well, I'm pretty soft in both on and offline.
Well, not when you first started. You were like, hey, don't be an idiot.
Well, serious, people I have very good, strong relationships with.
Right.
But not casual acquaintances that I'd meet.
Casual acquaintances.
I would never be this language you just used. That's something you might want to take a look at. I would never say anything like that. I would.
What would you say?
I wouldn't. I mean, I usually wait till they identify something to me or approach me.
You were talking about Melanie, the person that you talked to,
right?
A while back, and you didn't say, hey, I have something that might interest you. You said you're too sharp to be acting this stupid.
Right.
Much more aggressive.
But this is a lady I've known for years, have a very close relationship with. I told her about my business when I launched it. She just kind of blew me off. Then she also knows my friend Billy. Billy Looper approached her. She kind of blew him off. Then I ran into her a couple of months later at a dinner. Okay. And I said, you're way too smart to be acting this stupid. I have because we're tight enough that I can have that relationship.
All right.
But yeah, I wouldn't say it to this guy on the boat next to us over here, because he's dressed sharp and he didn't want to say anything, right? I would,
All right, so I want you to give two pieces of advice. Piece of advice one. What advice would you give to the person who is using the internet right now to aggressively spread a campaign about their particular product, service, or opportunity? What would you tell them?
Back away from the keyboard. Get away from the computer. Get into a rehab program. Get out of the business. Stop it, or we're going to hunt you down and hurt you. You got to stop doing this. You're ruining it for all of us. You're taking us back to the days in the 70s when we were a bunch of sales soap people. Yeah. And you're putting us back there. We got out of that space. Now we've got this great profession space, and these multi-level morons are putting us back there.
You know what I was thinking? And see if you can spontaneously come up with something. I was thinking about coming up with one response that all the good marketers use to respond to the bad ones. Every time they get a spam, every time they get a pitch, every time they get something, just one sentence that labels, you know, just says, hey, you know, lets them know, look, this isn't working somehow. So when they get two of those, five of those, 10 of those.
Here's what we got to do. Everybody's got to say, thanks for the pitch. I'm now going to unfollow you. At least we had Paris.
Thanks for the pitch. I'm now unfollowing you. At least we had Amsterdam. Okay, well, I'm going to work on that. I think if we can come up with literally an industry-wide slogan that would be an answer to every single one. So once they, if somebody gets it, they go, oh my gosh, I didn't know I was one of those people. All right.
Maybe it's just, dude, you don't get it. I don't know what, but we got to do something that, if they got that all the time, they'd figure out. Right. You know, I wrote the MLM manifesto. I talked about that in there. The people who literally, like on Twitter, have the same pitch, and you see 12 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 6 hours ago, 3 hours ago.
I know.
It's the same, you know, amazing juice. Or
it's really good because I'm just unfollow. I don't send them the message. I just unfollow.
Right. And you'd think they'd have to figure out, okay, the only people following me are the people in my group who are already drinking the juice. I mean, can I buy a clue? But they just don't. Okay, be sure and get a shot there. That's the Hotel Europe. That's the hotel you want to avoid when you come to Amsterdam.
This is the one you stayed
Because I stayed at 2 visits ago. Very boring, out of the thing. The restaurant's pretty good though. All right, nice clock over there. We got to get a shot of that clock.
The clock, right? Yeah, get that out.
Yeah, it's all kind of squares like this in Amsterdam. Every little plaza and square has got this beautiful stuff here. Great place to visit.
All right, we got to wrap it up because we're running out of time. But last thing, step 1, step 2, step 3, for people who want to use the internet to help accelerate their natural business. What would you encourage? Step 1, step 2, step 3, however many steps.
Get an online presence on Twitter, on Facebook. Put yourself out there in your name so people can find you who may have lost touch with you. You'll be able to find people that you perhaps have lost touch with. Add value. Put tweets on Twitter that people will want to read. Post stuff that they will find interesting, that will think, wow, this is an interesting person. I'd like to know more. Give value, and that will allow relationships to develop, and then work online the same way you would offline. You meet people, let a friendship develop, and if it's appropriate, then you talk to them about a business. But don't pitch people, don't spam people, forget the pay-per-clicks, forget renting email lists. Do it online the way you would offline.
All right. Well, Randy, I appreciate you taking the time. I hope everybody, you've been able to hear most of this. You've enjoyed the view as we've talked about all this. I know we're enjoying spending some time here.
And ladies and gentlemen, my wish for you is that you will decide to go pro. That you will be
at least
a
he's
network
watching.
Marketing professional.
At least he's watching. Okay, he's already said that. Question of the day. What's your favorite comic book hero? What is your favorite comic book hero?
Don't mess with Conan.
Conan the what?
Conan the Barbarian. The savage sword of
the
Conan.
The savage sword of Conan. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have a better way. Now let's go tell the world. From here in sunny Amsterdam, everybody have a great day. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.